Okay lads, so we're over on page 207 of our World of Graphics book, and we're looking at question 2. So, orthographic views of an object are shown below. Create an isometric drawing of the object. So very similar to question 1, apart from this time we're not given the 3D pictorial sketch. So if we're not given that, that means that we now need to generate a 3D sketch from these 3 views. So we're given the elevation, the plan and the end view. And we have to, I suppose, put these 3 views together to generate one of these in our head and then sketch that. Okay? So we're given the elevation, the plan and the end view, and we're going to start by drawing that. Okay? So the height of the elevation is given as being 32 plus 24, so it's going to be 56, so 56 tall and 74 wide, and 50 in depth. Okay, so we can try to draw a rectangle for each of these to fit into on our worksheet. So I'm going to start tall up into the corner of our worksheet. So the overall height of the drawing is going to be 56. Okay, so I'm going to just measure down 80 mil from my border. I'm just going to draw the start of the next Y line there. Okay, and we said that the overall height is 56 and the overall width then is given as being 74. So I'm going to measure out 20 mil to get this point. I'm going to measure out 74 past that. At this point, I'm going to measure up 56 there. Okay, and that will give me the top of the shape. And that will give me a rectangle for the elevation to fit into. Okay, so our elevation now is going to fit into that rectangle, and if we measure 25 and 25 down to get 50, our plan is going to fit into that one. So I'm going to start by measuring down 10, so I'm going to leave 10 mil in between both shapes. And measure 50 down. Okay, our plan is going to fit in there, and to get where our end view is going to fit, we can project up 2 lines here at 45 degrees, project them vertically up, and our end view is going to fit into this rectangle here as well. So starting with our elevation, we have to draw a line up here at 30 degrees, and that's going to cut at a point 24 mil down here. So I'm going to start by measuring down 24 mil. So down 10, 24, and drawing a construction line horizontally across my page. And next, a line at 30 degrees. Coming up from the bottom right hand corner of my elevation until it cuts that line. That's going to cut the line just there. And we also see that it goes up then and across to the left. Okay, so that is what our elevation looks like, and I can just fill in all my firm lines. That's our elevation finished. For our plan, we need to measure down 25 and 25 and project this line straight down. Okay, and then choosing our firm lines, which is going to be up here and across. Okay, and I can project that line then up into our end view. And for our end view, we need to have a vertical line going up through the middle and bring this line horizontally across here as well. So I just projected this point across here and then brought it here. Okay, so what I've done here is I've drawn the elevation, the plan and the end view. Okay, and I have all my firm lines filled in. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to measure up 5 and 5 and 5 and 5 and down 5 and 5 and fill in the plan, elevation and the end view. Okay, so I have the elevation, plan and the end view now drawn in. So next thing I want to do is I want to draw a freehand sketch of this shape. So we know that this is a 3D shape, but we're just looking at it from the front, from the top and from the end. So what I'm going to start by doing is drawing a cuboid that is about this height, about this wide and about this in depth. Okay, so we're just kind of thinking that we need it proportionally about that. So we can see that the length of it here is about well, we know what measurement it is, but we're saying that it's about 1.5 of the depth, and the height then is about a small bit taller than this. So we're trying to draw a cuboid about that size. So starting with my crow's foot, a vertical line down, and I want the length to be going out in this direction. So I'm just going to start it a small bit further to the left. So a vertical line down, a line going up at 30 degrees to the right, and a line going up at 30 degrees to the left. Okay, so that's my cuboid chunk, and I know that there's a line going straight through the middle of it here, so I'm going to draw that in construction line as well. So line straight up here and line straight back here. And next thing I see is that from the front I see this kind of shape here. Okay, so I'm going to draw that shape that I can see at the front in now. So the shape I see at the front goes vertically down all the way to the end, like it does here. It goes up at an angle. So up at an angle like this. And vertically up. And back in to this line. Okay, so that's going to mean that this goes across here. So I can drop this vertically down. And this goes across to meet it. This vertically down. This in here, and where they meet is going to be joined back down to here. Okay, so that's our shape now drawn with construction lines, and I just want to go over the firm lines now as well. Okay, and I'm just going to get rid of a few construction lines in as well. Okay, and that is a freehand sketch now of our shape. So I'm just going to measure up 5 and 5 and just label that as being a freehand sketch. Okay, so the next step then is to draw an isometric view of that. Okay, so we're going to do it the same as what we did there with the sketch. We're going to start with a large cuboid shape and we're going to cut this section then out of it. So, I'm going to start with a line down to the left at 30 degrees, over to the right at 30 degrees, and start around here, and vertically up at 30 degrees then as well. Okay, so the length of this surface here is given as being 74. The length of this surface here is given as being 50, and the height then is given as being 56. I'm going to measure up the height of 56. Across 74. And back 50 mil. Okay, so back 50 mil, over here 74, and up 56. And I'm going to draw a rectangle for that shape to fit into, so a cuboid for that to fit into. Okay, so here's the cuboid now that our shape is going to fit inside. And next thing I want to do is measure across this distance, measure down, and then join that line back. So I'm drawing this elevation onto this shape. So we know that the elevation goes across 24, okay, so I can drop a vertical line down from there, and it comes down then 24 as well. Measure down 24. And then is joined up to this point. Down the bottom corner. Okay. And we also know that it goes back in this direction. Goes back in that direction 25 mil. So it comes back here 25 mil, comes back here 25 mil as well. And from here would be a parallel line. Okay, so this surface now and the one opposite it here would be two parallel lines. So I'm going to measure back 25, and this should be a parallel line here. Okay, so like in the drawing here, these are two parallel lines. These are going to be two parallel lines here as well. Okay, from this corner here, we're going to go vertically up. To find out this point, which is going to come back here at 30 degrees. Okay, and then I'm just going to go around that shape with firm lines. So that's our isometric of the shape now as well. And I would measure up 5 and 5 and just label that as the isometric. Okay, the final thing we're going to look at is Onshape. So open up a new tab and go to Onshape, and you can sign in. Okay, and we're going to take a go at modeling this now on 3D. So I'm going to create, and I'm going to create a document, and I'm going to call this one, I think I called my last one that we did isometric projection. So I'm going to call this isometric projection 2. And just wait for Handshape now to load our workspace. And we're going to take a go at modeling this now. So back to our world of graphics. We're going to have a look at the base of it. And we're going to start by drawing the rectangle, and we're going to then cut out this section. So the base is 74 by 25, and it is 56 tall. So we're just going to draw this rectangle. You're going to see it now what I'm going to draw first. It's going to be 74 wide by 25 by 56 tall. So I'm going to go to the top, and I'm going to sketch, and I want to look straight in at the top. Okay, I'm choosing this corner rectangle, and from the center I'm going to draw a shape like this, and that shape is going to be 25 by 74. Okay, green tick, and I want to make that shape now into a 3D, so I'm going to extrude, and I'm going to extrude it by the height of the shape, which is 56. Green tick. Sorry, that didn't work for some reason. 56. So I'm just going to delete this one. Okay, so I've extruded the shape there by 56. The next thing I want to do is I want to sketch this shape here onto it. So go back to my world of graphics, and I want to sketch this onto that now. So it's all the way up, and then I know that this measurement was 19 mil. So look straight in at the front, and this time I want to sketch with a pencil onto this plane, and I want to sketch a line, and that line is going to be 19 . So get it as close as we can. 19. Then we're going to go down 24 and join it down to the bottom corner here, back here, and up. Okay, and I want to dimension one of them lines, and I want to dimension this line to be 19. Okay, green tick. So now I have this sketch drawn onto this shape, and now I want to extrude that. So I want to extrude this shape by 25 mil. Green tick. Okay, and here we have our shape. So essentially what I did was I made this cuboid here, and then I extruded this out of it. What I could have also done was draw the whole cuboid and extrude, say, this part and cut it out of it. Okay, but I didn't. This is how I did it, and I can just hide these three views, and I'm left with our shape. So I'm going to look in at it from here, and that's very similar to how we look in at it from our own drawing. Okay, as you can see here. And the final thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to print that out and I'm going to stick it onto our sheet. I'm then going to label all of my views. Okay, so I have my elevation, end view and plan in orthographic drawn. I have my freehand sketch. I have my scaled isometric drawn. And I also have a model done out here as well. Okay, the final thing I did was color code one of the surfaces. So this slanted surfaces here can be seen in the plan. It can be seen in the end view. It can be seen in both our freehand sketches, and we can also see it here in our 3D model as well. Okay, so I hope you found that video helpful. Let me know if you have any questions.